Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to be diving deep into a topic that I think is on everyone's minds these days.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like everywhere you turn, people are talking about it.
AI, right?
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence and what it all means for us, for our jobs, our careers even.
It can feel pretty overwhelming, right? All this talk about robots and algorithms and the future of work. It's hard to know where to even begin.
Exactly, and that's why we're here today. We're going to break it all down for you. Look, we've been doing a ton of research, reading reports, talking to experts, and honestly, what we found is both fascinating and a little bit unnerving.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is AI is already changing the world around us, whether we realize it or not.
Think about it like those personalized recommendations you get on Spotify or Netflix, or how about those chatbots that pop up when you're browsing a website that's all powered by AI?
And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. What we're seeing now is just the beginning of a much bigger transformation, and that's what we really want to dig into today.
Okay, so let's start with the basics when we talk about AI. What are we actually talking about? Because it feels like a really broad term.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, AI is a bit of an umbrella term. There are actually different types of AI out there.
So can you break those down for us?
Sure. So one important distinction is between what's called narrow AI and general AI. Narrow AI is what we see most commonly today. It's AI that's designed to perform a specific task, like playing chess or filtering spam emails.
Got it. So it's like AI with a very specific skill set.
Exactly. And narrow AI is actually incredibly good at what it does, often even surpassing human capabilities in certain areas.
Right. Like I've heard that some AI systems can now diagnose certain medical conditions more accurately than even experienced doctors.
Yeah, that's right. AI is being used in healthcare in incredible ways, but narrow AI has its limitations. It can only do what it's programmed to do. It can't really think for itself or learn new things outside of its designated task.
Okay, so that's narrow AI. What about general AI?
General AI is more like what we see in science fiction movies. It's the idea of an AI that has human-like intelligence and can learn and adapt to any situation.
So it's like a super intelligent AI that can do anything a human could do and probably even more.
Exactly. But general AI is still largely theoretical. We're nowhere near creating an AI that can truly replicate human consciousness and intelligence.
Okay, so it sounds like narrow AI is what's really driving the changes we're seeing in the world right now.
Absolutely. It's narrow AI that's automating tasks, changing industries, and creating both challenges and opportunities in the job market.
And speaking of jobs, that's what we really want to focus on today. How is AI impacting the way we work?
Well, let's start with an industry that's already been significantly impacted by AI manufacturing.
Yeah, we've all seen those images of robots on assembly lines, right?
Exactly. For decades, robots have been used to perform repetitive tasks in manufacturing. But what's interesting is that AI is now enabling robots to do much more complex tasks.
So it's not just about robots replacing humans on the assembly line. It's about robots taking on more skilled roles.
Exactly. There's a company called Ocado in the UK that's using AI-powered robots to run a massive grocery fulfillment center. These robots can pick and pack groceries with incredible speed and accuracy, which has significant implications for traditional warehouse jobs.
That's pretty mind-blowing, and I imagine that this shift isn't limited to just manufacturing, right?
Definitely not retail is another industry that's being transformed by AI. Think about self-checkout kiosks and cashierless stores like Amazon Go.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen those popping up everywhere.
These technologies are becoming increasingly commonplace, which raises questions about the future of traditional retail jobs like cashiers and sales associates.
It makes you wonder what's going to happen to all those jobs as AI becomes more sophisticated.
And it goes beyond customer-facing roles, too. AI is being used to manage inventory, predict demand, and personalize the shopping experience, impacting a wide range of jobs within the retail sector.
So AI is changing the game for both blue-collar and white-collar jobs. That's pretty significant. But what about creative fields? Can AI replace human creativity?
That's a question a lot of people are asking, and it's one of the most fascinating aspects of this whole AI revolution.
So what's the answer? Can AI be creative?
Well, it's complicated. There are now AI systems that can compose music, write poetry, and even create visual art.
Really? So you're telling me that AI can paint a masterpiece?
Maybe not a masterpiece in the traditional sense, but there's an AI system called DALL-E that can generate incredibly realistic and often surreal images based on text descriptions.
Wow, I've got to see this. So if AI can create art and music, does that mean that artists and musicians are out of a job?
I wouldn't say that necessarily. I think it's more nuanced than that. Some experts believe that AI will augment human creativity rather than replace it.
So it's more like AI will become a tool for artists and musicians to use.
Exactly. AI could help artists overcome creative blocks, generate new ideas, and even create entirely new forms of art that we can't even imagine yet.
Okay, so maybe AI won't replace all the jobs, but it's definitely going to change the way we work. So with all this change happening, what can people do to prepare themselves for the future?
That's the million-dollar question, right? The key is adaptability and lifelong learning.
So are we talking about going back to college for a whole new degree?
It doesn't have to be that drastic.
Yeah.
There are tons of resources available online, from free courses on platforms like Coursera to more specialized boot camps that focus on in-demand skills.
So there are options for people who want to upskill or reskill without having to quit their jobs.
Exactly. And what's great is that a lot of these resources are designed for working professionals, so you can learn at your own pace and on your own schedule.
That's really encouraging to hear. But with all this talk about robots taking our jobs, it's easy to feel a little bit anxious about the future.
I understand that, but I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right? It's not about fearing AI. It's about understanding it and figuring out how we can use it to our advantage.
Exactly. Think about how AI can enhance your productivity in your current job. Can you use AI-powered tools to automate repetitive tasks, freeing up your time for more strategic work?
That's a great point. It's about working with AI rather than against it.
And here's another thing to consider. The rise of AI is creating entirely new career paths that didn't even exist a few years ago.
So it's not just about jobs being lost, it's also about new jobs being created.
Exactly. One of the fastest growing fields right now is data science. As AI systems generate massive amounts of data, we need people who can analyze that data and extract meaningful insights.
So data scientists are going to be in high demand.
Absolutely. And there's also a growing need for AI ethicists, people who can help ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly.
That's an interesting one. I hadn't even considered that before. AI ethicists, it sounds like a really important role.
It is. As AI becomes more powerful, we need to think carefully about the ethical implications, and that's where AI ethicists come in.
And of course, we can't forget about the engineers who are actually building and training these AI systems.
Yeah, machine learning engineers are in incredibly high demand right now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
So there are definitely opportunities out there for people who are interested in working in the field of AI.
But even if you're not planning on becoming an AI expert, there are still things you can do to prepare for the future of work.
Like what?
Well, one of the most important skills you can develop is critical thinking. In a world where AI is automating so many tasks, it's going to be even more important to be able to think critically, solve problems, and make informed decisions.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
AI can process information incredibly fast, but it can't really think outside the box in the same way that humans can.
Right. And another important skill is creativity. As AI takes over more routine tasks, human creativity and ingenuity are going to become even more valuable.
So we need to focus on developing those uniquely human skills that AI can't replicate.
Exactly. And don't forget about communication skills. The ability to communicate clearly and effectively is always going to be essential, especially in a world where we're interacting with AI systems more and more.
It's funny how even in the age of AI, those fundamental human skills are still so important.
They are, and I think they'll only become more important as we navigate this new landscape of work.
So we've talked a lot about the impact of AI on jobs. But what about the broader societal impact? I mean, AI is going to change so much more than just the way we work, right?
Oh, absolutely. AI is already being used in healthcare education, transportation finance, and countless other industries, and the potential applications are really limitless.
It's exciting and a little bit scary all at the same time.
I agree. I think it's important to approach AI with a sense of both optimism and caution.
So what can we do to ensure that AI is used for good and that it benefits society as a whole?
Well, one of the most important things is to have open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI.
Right, we need to be thinking about things like bias, transparency, and accountability when it comes to AI systems.
Exactly. And we need to make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that aligns with our values as a society.
That's a big responsibility, but it's one that we all share.
It is. And I think it's important to remember that we have the power to shape the future of AI. We're not just passive bystanders in this technological revolution.
Right, we can choose how we develop AI, how we use it, and how we integrate it into our lives.
And the choices we make today will have a profound impact on the world of tomorrow.
Well, that's a pretty thought-provoking note to end on. So to wrap up, it's clear that AI is already having a massive impact on our lives, And that impact is only going to grow in the years to come.
Yeah, the future is uncertain. But one thing is for sure, we need to be prepared for the changes that are coming.
And that means staying informed, being adaptable, and embracing lifelong learning.
It also means thinking critically about the ethical implications of AI and working to ensure that it's used for good.
It's a challenge, but it's also an opportunity.
And as AI continues to evolve, what role do you want to play in shaping its future? That's something for all of us to think about.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI and the future of work. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking.
And be sure to check back next week for another deep dive into the world of technology and innovation.
See you then.
Bye.